Hi, welcome to Universal Interiors. I'm Les Engelstead, and I get to have a guest today, Miss Raina Zimmer.
Hello.
Yay, hi. I'm really excited that we get to do a little chat, which we have now and then in life, but we just got to do a little date together, and that was to a movie here in town, and I am so grateful that my friend Raina asked me. So would you please tell us why you invited me?
Well, okay, so we went to...
Besides, I'm fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We went to the movie Unplanned, and I really wanted to go because I got to hear Abby Johnson, who the movie is based off of, speak in Detroit Lakes. I'm sure many other people did too, and she was here in, I think, the fall of 2017.
Oh, okay.
And she spoke at the Health Resources Banquet, and she was amazing, and an eye-opening story. And so I wanted to go to that, and yeah,
it was. I heard about it just like a few days before. I was watching TV and I saw it advertised, and I was like, "Wow, that's got to be a hard movie." But what a great movie to just have a better understanding about a tough subject. It is.
It is a tough subject, and it's a controversial subject. So it's hard to talk about. But you know, I think it's kind of, in the mainstream media, maybe gotten a little bad rap, but it's actually a very good movie, and the story is amazing.
Incredible. It really is. When you speak the word abortion, lots of times there's just going to be, you're going to be on this side or you're going to be on that side, and not very many people there in the middle. But I just felt so grateful, again, for the invite, so I could be there, and now we can share about it, because there is a perspective that is so amazing about this movie, because this is a lady not anti or pro, but a pro turning anti, because it's her life story. She walked this life, and the way it was told was amazing, I felt.
Yeah, and so Abby Johnson was the director of a Planned Parenthood in Texas, one of them in Texas, and it's really her journey of from how she got into becoming a volunteer at Planned Parenthood, to becoming a counselor, to becoming the clinic director, and then leaving. And
so showing the different walks of her life, and again, to use the word, the perspective of a young lady that went through abortion. Did it because it was something that, and it is something that
she had two of them.
Yes.
2 abortions herself.
Right. And one out of like, oh, this can't be happening. And that's when we're first introduced to what it was going to be like, what we saw. Then the second time was after being married, but being a tough marriage. She was pregnant again in a different way that she had to do an abortion. So it showed things like that. I mean, awfully hard to watch some parts, but at the same time, I was so educated, Raina. That's what I felt like this was about.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of maybe misinformation out there, and this kind of clears all that up. And the other thing I really liked, it was a no judgment movie. I mean, and it shows the ugly sides of both sides of the abortion issue. Mm-hmm. And I just can't stop thinking about it and raving about it.
Yeah, and I hope this encourages some of you. It's not like out in a whole lot of theaters, I understand, but we are fortunate enough, being in our area of Detroit Lakes and also in Perham, it has been showing it now. And with this, like she said, that you are watching somebody's life, and that it was here in Detroit Lakes that she came and spoke it and shared it. And I love that too, because it just kind of does drive you home. But the questions that so many of us, I mean, from a parent's perspective, but at the same time from a kid, that I didn't walk a straight walk in life. And in the 70s, it was something that's nothing like it is today. But it is still, like, for me, eye-opening what this young person did and what she took and ran with it. Like, oh, I'm so glad I was able to do this. And then I was like, okay, well, but I love too that they met. Like Raina said it perfectly, both sides of the issue, good and bad, both sides have it, right? And that she developed, working at the clinic, a friendship with those that were opposed to it. But a friendship came out of it. and she gets married to somebody that didn't agree with her whole approach and her main job, but he still loved her through it all because he wanted to respect her. So why hear that? And we do hear that out there as an argument. Hey, it's all about just my body, but it introduces so many
and
ideas.
And I don't think a lot of people understand some of the complications that come with that kind of a procedure and everything. And it kind of sheds some light onto that too, and that there is complications or effects that come with it. And again, no judgment
Right.
of anyone that has had an abortion, thinking of an abortion. There's no judgment in this movie on that.
No.
It's really trying to just tell this woman's story.
Yep, and I love that I think that's why it's so nicely and done, because I think the person's heart, obviously you heard her, but she must have made sure that was a big part of putting this movie out, that it wasn't going to be a Christian movie to make sure you guys feel this, because you know what, that's not Christ-like anyways. Jesus is not slinging the mud at people. He just isn't. So I don't know. Hopefully you can take a look again and see the way Jesus loves, because that's what I felt like this movie was showing, his love for everyone involved.
And I think another cool God story with this movie is the actress that plays Abby. She has spoken in many different interviews, and you can YouTube those. And she talks about how when she got this role, she had called her mom, and her mom had shared how is it Ashley? Is that her name? I can't think of the actress's name. But how she was almost aborted. Her mother almost aborted her. She was at the clinic. And now here she is playing the lead in this movie. I mean, I just think that's amazing.
Incredible. That is really neat. I did not know that part. I do know from, again, of somebody that I love life, and this is a thing that I think is the way it was told is like they do love life. From the clinic, when she was there for many years, she loved life. It wasn't like she thought anything different. She wasn't like, it's just nothing. But she loved life. She was just doing it for her patients. She just thought, this is the best we can do for them right now. And then you see that to where she does, like a major change happens, but she still walks it, I think, so gracefully. That's what I kind of feel like it even ended that way, with just like.
Yes, I actually watched a recent interview on YouTube with Abby, and she had shared how she wasn't even going to share her story after kind of this fallout happens. She's like, I wasn't even going to share my story, and I don't want to give away the movie, so something happens, and she's kind of, her hand is forced. So, again, God working.
Yeah, in those mysterious ways, and that's always where, and again, I'm so grateful the way that Raina had said that too. The movie not coming from judgment, a condemnation, a criticalness to either side. It is just, it's operation from love, and that's why I think people are going to get challenged by this. You know, that you can't help it. And if you choose, no way am I going to listen to that. Well, I want to challenge you, because you know what? That's how we learn. I mean, I wouldn't have known at all this subject and the depth of it all. And I know that majority of the time I always just want to challenge people to just keep your eyes open, because we all got something that we can learn from each other.
Yes, absolutely. And I recommend to go see the movie
Unplanned.
Whether it's still here in Detroit Lakes when this is airing or when it comes out on DVD. It's a really great movie.
It is. Thanks for listening to us today. You make sure you make it a great day. See you next time.